be initiating. So I'm waiting for him, sir.
Ma'am, Arun sir actually is going for college, ma'am, today.
But he has joined, sir. He has joined here in the meeting.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Good morning,
Morning.
sir.
Good morning,
Good morning,
sir.
sir.
Good morning,
Sagar, sir,
madam.
good morning.
Madam, good morning, Chitra, madam.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
How are you, sir?
Fine, madam. Fine, madam.
Okay, thank you. Pratibha, shall we start now?
Okay, ma'am.
We have to
Okay,
wait
ma'am.
for
It's
some
10.
time.
19.
The Arun இல்லையா? Arun has
இருக்காரு
joined.
மேம் பட் இன்னும் ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணல.
Ma'am, அவர் காலேஜ் போறேன்னாரு மேம் அருண் சார்.
இல்ல அவர் ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காருன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஆமா மேம். எஸ் ஜாயின்ட் ஆக்சுவலி.
இல்ல பேர் இருக்கு, நேம் இருக்கு, ஆனா அது
இல்ல அவர்தான் சார். அவர் ஜாயின் பண்றேன் ட்ரை பண்றேன் காலேஜ்ல சார். எஸ் எஸ்.
சார் எஸ் சார்.
கோபிநாத் சார் நீங்களா?
சொல்லுங்க கோபிநாத் சார்.
அருண் இல்லையா சார்?
சார் சொல்லுங்க கோபி.
அருண் இல்லையா
கேக்கல
சார்?
கோபி சார். ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே. ஓகே ஓகே ஃபைன்.
ஓகே, ஆனா அருண் சார் வர மாட்டாரு சார். மேம் காலேஜ் போறாரு மேம். கோபி சார் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு அவர் அக்கவுண்ட்ல.
ஓகே
ஓகே மேம்.
ஓகே மேம்.
டைம் 10 ஆயிடுச்சு.
இன்னொரு 2 மினிட்ஸ் வெயிட் பண்ணலாமா சார்?
ஓகே மேம். ஓகே மேம். கோபி சார் மேம் ரெக்கார்டிங் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணனும். ரெக்கார்டிங் அது மட்டும் கேட்டு. கோபி சார் ரெக்கார்டிங் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா சார்?
பண்ணிட்டாரா சார்?
கோபி சார் ரெக்கார்டிங் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா?
கேக்குது சார்.
மேம் கொஞ்சம் கேட்றீங்களா கோபி சார்ட்ட?
சார் அவர் ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்றாரு.
சரி மேம். ஓகே மேம். அப்ப நீங்க ஓகே, थैंक यू கோபி சார். थैंक यू கோபி சார். थैंक you கோபி சார். மேம்ட்ட கேட்டு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா? ஓகே கோபி சார். ஓகே கோபி சார். थैंक you. நீங்க மியூட் பண்ணிக்கங்க சார். ஓகே சார். மேம் சரி சார். ஓகே சார். கேக்குது. சரி ஓகே மேம். சரிங்க மேம். அவர் மியூட் பண்ணிட்டாரு மேம். பிரச்சனை இல்லை மேம். மேம் நீங்க மேம்ட்ட கேட்டு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமான்னு கேட்டுருங்க மேம்.
மேம் சரி மேம்.
சொல்லுங்க பிரதீபா.
மேம் இப்பதான் அருண் சார் கால் பண்ணார் மேம். அவரை இருக்காரா மேம்? பட் அவர் பேசுறது கேட்கல. பட் அவர் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு மேம்.
சரி ஓகே
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம்ல மேம்? வெரி குட் மார்னிங்.
மேம் அந்த இன்விடேஷன் ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங் பண்ணுங்க
சார். சார்
இன்விடேஷன் ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர் பண்ண சொல்றாரு பிரதீபா.
மேம் இன்விடேஷன் ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங்.
ஓகே அது ஆக்சுவலி நடுவுல அருண் சார் தான் பண்ணாரு. ஓகே சார் நான் 1 minute டைம்.
நான் கோபிநாத் சார்ட்ட சொல்லிடுறேன் மேம். 1 செகண்ட் மேம். கோபி சார். கோபி சார் அந்த இன்விடேஷன் ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங் சார். அந்த இன்விடேஷன் ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங் உங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து நான் பண்ணிருங்க சார்.
இல்ல நான் எடுக்கிறேன் சார். ஒரு நிமிஷம். அது குரூப்ல இருக்கு, வாட்ஸ்அப்ல இருக்கல அனுப்பிச்சிருக்காரு. நான் எடுக்கிறேன்.
சரிங்க மேம். சரிங்க மேம். நான் ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர்
விசிபிளா இருக்கா சார்?
விசிபிள்ப்பா. பத்திப்பா.
ஓகே மேம். ஓகே மேம்.
எஸ் மேம், விசிபிள் மேம். ஓகே
சார் ஆனா நான் ஷேர் பண்ணனா ஆக்சுவலா நான் ரீட் பண்ண முடியாது.
அப்படிங்களா? சரி, ஓகே மேம். அப்ப ஷேரிங் இல்லைன்னா பரவாயில்ல மேம். நான் ப்ரூஃப் மட்டும் எடுத்துக்கலாம் மேம். ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
ஓகே ஓகே
ஓகே மேம், பரவாயில்ல மேம். நீங்க ஷேர் பண்ணாம நீங்க ஸ்டார்ட்
ஸ்டாப்
பண்ணிடுங்க.
பண்ணிடவா சார்?
ஷேர் பண்ணாம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடுங்க. ஸ்டாப்
ஓகே சார்,
பண்ணிடுங்க.
தேங்க் யூ
ஸ்டாப்
சார்.
பண்ணிடுங்க.
யா ஷூர். Okay. A very good morning to one and all gathered here. Department of ECE, Panimala Institute of Technology, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, in association with IEEE TEMS Madras Chapter, PIT EDC, IIC, IEEE Student Branch, IETE ISF welcomes you all for the IICT sponsored short-term training program on Mission Vision for entrepreneurs launching startups with low seed fund. Panimala Institute of Technology, started by Jai Shakti Educational Trust, focuses on disseminating knowledge coupled with discipline and ethics. It is established in the year 2008 with the disciplines ECE, EEE, CSE, IT, and Mechanical at present. The college has a wide class infrastructure built upon the greatest faculty strength. Spread across 55 acres of lush greenery, the college hosts one of the best infrastructures one can find, thus making the campus life both an educative and enjoyable one for the students. The uniqueness of the college is the serenity of the campus coupled with the latest state-of-the-art infrastructure, well-equipped laboratories, workshops, audiovisual halls, and an auditorium to groom the students. Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, accredited by National Board of Accreditation, has been established in the year 2008 with the vision of developing the department as a center of excellence in ECE. ECE department strives to make the students to become exemplary professionals by providing qualitative and quantitative academic teaching in order to meet the global challenges on par with the industry standards. This short-term training program is aimed to aid aspiring entrepreneurs contributing as well as executing research in the emerging field of machine vision through startups for economic development of India. Digitization of India being the frontrunner in Indian government path towards developed village and developed nation goal, machine vision leading to Internet of Things is highly essential, which has been proposed in various forms as on date by the central and state governments, multinational corporate sectors, and research and development organizations. Machine vision is the technology which provides imaging-oriented automatic inspection and analysis for applications such as automatic inspection, process control, and robot guidance in industry. This Sttp will produce entrepreneurs by launching and establishing startups in machine vision with low seed fund for applications such as electronic components testing, object recognition, pattern recognition, and medical imaging. With this introduction, I now call upon Dr. MP Chitra, HOD ECE, Panimala Institute of Technology, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am.
Yes. Good morning, one and all. I am pleased to thank the respected board of our college who are responsible for the creation of this fulfilling platform, who has always been there for us, the Secretary and Correspondent of Panimala Institute of Technology, Dr. P. Chinnadare, MA PhD, our directors who have been dominant pillars of our support, Tirumati C. Vijay Rajeshwari, Mr. Sakti Kumar ME and Mrs. Saranya Sakti Kumar ME. They say gaining knowledge is the first step to wisdom and sharing it is the first step to humanity. Knowledge has no value until it is used or shared. True power is gained by sharing knowledge, not by hoarding it. Actually, you are not just helping others, but yourselves too. They say knowledge increases by sharing it, not saving. Listen, be attentive, preserve it, practice, and finally spread the knowledge you gain. To do this, we have with us intellectual man waiting to shower us with their knowledge. I am honored to welcome Dr. N.R. Shankar, CEO, Chase Technology, Chennai. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam.
It is my immense pleasure to welcome you, sir. We are
Yes.
delighted to have you here with us today. And finally, the ones who have joined here, we are glad you could join us today. I extend a very warm welcome to one and all present here for the AICT sponsored short-term training program and mission vision for entrepreneurs launching startups with low seed fund during 23rd November 2020 to 28th November, hosted by Department of EC, Panimal Institute of Technology, Chennai. Thank you. Thank you once again. Welcome you all once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pradeep bhai,
Yes, ma'am. Thank
thank
you.
you.
Now, I would like to introduce the chief guest and speaker of this session to the gathering. Dr. N.R. Shankar is serving as CEO of Chase Technologies, Chennai. Chase Technologies is established in 2001 with the vision to provide high-quality engineering solutions across the globe. He has completed his PhD in computational image processing from CEG Anna University, MTech in remote sensing from CEG Anna University, and BE in ECE from Madras University. He has published several papers in highly reputed journals and conferences. He is also reviewer of Journal of Engineering and Technology Research, JETR, and World Applied Sciences Journal. He is a recognized research supervisor at Anna University. He has received several research and development funding projects. With this high profile, I request you to take over the session, sir. Sir?
Yes, I'm there, madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, and I think I'll present now.
Yes, sir.
Can you able to see my screen?
Not yet, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, it is letting, sir. Yes.
Okay. See, before
Yes, sir.
getting into, I think my audio is clear, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir. Audio,
yes.
audio clear.
Yes, today our topic is going to be dealt with machine vision, and then plus your startup. Okay, and then this going to give a solution for medical imaging. Okay, medical technology or medical imaging. And of course, many people, when you talk about these two parameters, the application is going to be with the medical imaging and medical startup, something like that. Before getting into this core idea, one should understand what do you mean by startup. Okay, because everybody are aware about mission, but still, the two important thing, of course, medical imaging is also known to everybody. It's not a very big issue, but still, the startup in medical imaging and especially medical applications, and of course when I say medical vision, you can also think that what is that medical vision and medical imaging, both are different. See, if I use my camera for robotic surgery, that becomes a different. When I take the camera images out and add out the startup is different, and that is what I made it very clear: machine vision and medical imaging. Okay, vision belongs to robotics. For example, you can say that it also has robotics within. Okay, you have robotic surgery and all those things comes there. And of course, I'm not going to deal about these things, but still I'll give an introduction about this. This will be an overview, and I'll give knowledge about startup. Then through these two things, how to go ahead for image applications, and what are the companies are there, startup companies there in Chennai. I'll talk about one case study. This will be my outline of my presentation. One case study, live case study, not that showing something, what I can say, just narrating the thing over the presentation will not be there. I'll show the company name, what are the projects they are doing, and they're also a startup company. And I'm going to take this startup in international standard, how in international standard, how these startups are moving, and international standard. Okay, I can show you how many projects are there in international standard, and all those things you are going to see now. Okay, and second. Okay, it is international standard, and when you talk about international standard, I'm going to give some live companies. Okay, I'll just give an intro at the final stage, and this is how I'm going to give my presentation. Of course, I want to say that people who are attending this program will be so lucky, because startup, you do with startup in other things, but people doesn't know that there is a very big opening for startup in medical imaging and medical applications. And then since we engineering, we never concentrate on medical application, and that has become in a different angle for the people in medical technology, medical engineering. They started their courses in artificial intelligence and AI and all those things. If you go to Apollo College, a medical nurse will are learning about AI, and they are learning about machine learning. In Chennai itself, there is a very big course, 2-year course, 1-year course. And since we engineering, our looks are not towards the medical side, and they started their own degree in all medical engineering colleges. For example, if you say Manipal Institute, they have their medical degree based on ECE, based on mechanical, and based on AI and digital techniques. A lot of things are there when you talk about that. But of course, I don't have time to discuss about it. And then, if your people are located in Chennai, you can have in Ramachandra Medical College. They started their biomechanics. They do 3D printing and organs, and they do something with artificial intelligence and machine learning, and then they do deep learning and all those things. Because the problem is that we are not considering multidisciplinary application. That is what the problem. We are not looking into interdisciplinary problem. That is what our new NEPC, National Education Policy, says, that year after nothing is there with the core. You have to go for the crossed applications and crossed what I can say, projects development. So that you call it as cross major. We never allow that even a faculty to take your degree in cross major. You are not allowed to take education. But still now that has become a very big part, because lot of areas beyond the core is being left out. Okay, it means that core is that I do something with embedded system. Okay, but how do my embedded system is going to apply in image processing? Okay, how that nanotechnology is going to apply in image processing? Many people think that nanotechnology is different, medical imaging is different, and EC is different. No, see, there is a very beautiful applications when you talk about nanotechnology in image processing. When I think many people, when you listen about it, they'll really shock about it. And of course, there is a wide opening. But of course, that is a different part. Even in nanotechnology and medical imaging, it can go for a startup. I'm going to discuss all those things at the last. Okay, I think you can stay with me until my class is over, and then you can give your feedback, because at the last you will have a lot of information system where you can start your own company. It will be like your own eye-opening session, and you can also get into a different angle. And beyond that, the idea is what I'm trying to give here is that it will be very useful for patenting, and then it will be very useful for publication and high impact for publication, where we are not aware about it. All those things supposed to be combined here, because everything comes here. Basically, when you talk about startup, I'll start from the startup, because as a teacher, you will be well versed about your image processing. But what do you mean by startup? See, startup is that what is the difference between startup and entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is that you can start any business based upon your family background. For example, I have my own business. For example, I am selling my rice. Now I have a rice business. I'll be doing it in a particular location. Now I am going to get into my family business. Now after my education, I do that business in a world level. I export it to other country. Now here starts your business. Education plus business. This is how your entrepreneurs goes. Whereas when you talk about startup, what do you mean by startup? Actually, who does this startup? Only engineers, only technical persons will go for the startup. See, technical person. I don't know. I don't know what is the meaning for startup in many colleges, because I see some people, they say something, they have startup, they are doing something. Really, it's very what I can say, sad to say that the startups from engineering college 100% fails. 100% for the sake of NAC and NBA, it has been done, but really it is not a startup. I've seen many colleges, they say that something they keep, and they say that this is the startup. They never see the market, they never see the problem, they never see the requirement, and what I can say, they never see the customer's ability, and all those things are then the startup. Not that I do something, I get a product. No, it's not like that. You should be able to stand for 10 years or 20 years when you go for a startup. Even the startup which is being started by very eminent people, that startups are being failed because they doesn't know how to do this startup. That is a very important thing. Okay, and that startup 70% is failed. See, after attending this class, you can reverse this into 75% success and 25% will be failed. Okay, and as far as concerned, I want to be very clear. I myself did some. My own students have given a lot of startups. You know, if you go for, I'll give one company because I cannot give all the company. I can say one company. It is recorded in Chennai, SGen Enterprises. Okay, it is a very beautiful company. My student, and like this, lot of people are doing like this, L-bound, and I can say very big companies. They are in limited companies. They are doing a beautiful work, and they are all my student, and they did their startup. They are successful, and they are doing a lot of very big projects. You know, they are crossing more than 10 crores, 5 crores per year of turnover, and of course, and that experience is going to be shared here. Okay, and don't worry, as a teacher also you can go ahead with the startup. It's not a very big thing. Okay, and no, I don't think that startup is only for the students. Startup is also for the teachers, and right now these startups are very much required for the teachers now. Okay, I think you can understand what I'm trying to say. And now we'll think about startup. What do you mean startup? As I said earlier, startups are done only by technical person, not the arts or not your what I can say other department. Only when I say technical, it is only engineers. How the startup comes? How the startup comes? Why the startups are created? Because when you go for startup, you know, employability is increasing. Okay, getting more people engaged in this company, and I think minimum 10 people can get a job when you have one single startup, and that makes the fulfillment of the professional studies. Okay, that is what I'm trying to say here. Now when you think about startup, you know how the startup comes. See, you can see this when a student, okay, this is how the origin of your startup. Now a student, once again, but people are not interlinking our startup and then your teaching and then your publication. See, a student, okay, does his project, okay, a project. See, that project should be an industrial requirement. It should be an industrial required problem. Okay, that should be taken by a student. Okay, and that project, okay, you come out with a product. You come out with a product. Okay, see, it's very simple. A student takes a project, and that project should be from industrial related project. It means that industrial problem has to be taken, or a customer problem. See, everything comes with your student only, and that they are trying to make it as a product. Okay, that you make it as a product. Now that product, you see the marketability. It means that when I finish a product, how far it can reach, what I can say, to the market and requirement. So, and if you identify that it is very good, okay, then it goes for the startup. Okay, it goes for the startup. You start your company. See, and now if the project is good, okay, you can get the idea by publishing the journals. This is how the startup comes. Okay, see, because I may get an industrial problem, I'll just show you what are the problems are available, and then I'll be telling you how many problems are there, and all these things we'll discuss at the last. But still, you want to get an overall idea how the startups are coming up. So this is how the startup comes. Now the journal will give some idea to make your product. From the review comments, you can get a lot of ideas, you know, how to fine tune your product. Okay, the project ideas or the product, even a product can be fine tuned. This is how the entire structure goes. But still, we think that startup is different, publication is different, doing project is different. But still, we have to understand that when you do a project, you have to involve some industry people. That is what you have your industrial institution interaction. A lot of councils are coming from AICT. See, all are interconnected, but we don't normally. I see that many people in engineering college, they don't interconnect all those things. See, they do it in a different way. Student project is different, startup is different, and publication is different, patent is different. When you get a very good product, now here starts your IP. Okay, when the product is fine, after your publication, you find that there is a very good marketability. Before getting into that marketability, because when you get into the market, many people will duplicate. Before the what I can say, getting into the market, selling the product in the market, IP has to be done. So all are interlinked. And now the very beautiful thing is that the problem. Okay, how do you take your project and how do you take your problem? So this is how you have to make your startup. Startup is linked with your publication. Startup is linked with your students. Startup is linked with the industry institution interaction. Startup linked with your patent. Startup includes with your intellectual property rights. When you say startup, okay, it's that. What is the difference? between a business or entrepreneurship. Now I take business. I cannot write in a very lengthy way. Please try to understand. You have to listen the class so that you'll understand what is my abbreviation things. Now, when you go for business, entrepreneurship and business are same. Okay, because you see that one particular product is not there in our area, so I can put a shop. That is different. Okay, whereas the startup comes with a problem. What is the problem? What is the problem? Okay, the problem is that the problem is going to be a solution. The problem will have a solution, and that solution is going to have a very beautiful commercial thing. Then it goes for the startup. This is how you make it. See, we'll talk about the startup and engineering education. Okay, in engineering system, what are the startups are available? What are the medical problems are available? See, now I can give one problem. I can give one startup problem. Is that now? See, I'll give one simple startup problem. I'll take from your domestic environment. Okay. See, I don't know how many people are aware about adverse drug effect, ADR, adverse drug effect. Adverse drug effect is that when you take your tablets, okay, more than the disease level. Now this is your disease level. Okay, disease level is less, your tablet is more. Automatically it goes for adverse drug effect, ADR. I can give an example. If you take paracetamol continuously for a headache or something like that, it will damage your liver. And this is how the medical technology is working out. Now, if you want to see this, you can go and see in CTS. Many people know that CTS is doing only CC plus a program, but they are doing in a different way in pharmacology. Pharmacovigilance. They have a separate company called pharmacovigilance. Okay, this vigilance is what it is really trying to do is that pharmacovigilance, they are trying to identify after consuming a tablet of 10 years what happens, what are the side effects. If you take in this fashion, now I'll do one thing. I'll put it in a simple way. If you have a fever, for example, if you have a fever, okay, doctor says that you check the fever level with your thermometer, then you give your tablet. Now this is how you have that scenario. Okay, you have your thermometer, your fever, if you measure your temperature is very high, then automatically you have to take your tablet. Whereas when you go for diabetes, for example, okay, when diabetes is very high, you cannot continuously measure. Okay, but the tablet is same, the level of the tablet is same. See, now for example, if my diabetes level is 180, okay, now my tablet level should have only half a tablet, but in turn doctor has suggested me what to do. I have to take one tablet. Now half a tablet will work as an adverse effect. Now we don't have a tool like fever, thermometer and tablet. See, I measure my tablet. If my temperature is more than 104, doctor says that now you take 4 hours, one tablet. If the temperature is below 100, you just take after 6 hours or after lunch or after dinner, something like that. They'll have some intake of tablet. But the same thing is not in diabetes. Of course, if you want to do it in diabetes, what happens? You have to prick your hands, and every time you cannot do it. So now here you want to have a non-enhancing tool. This is how your startup comes. The problem is that you are going to save the people by giving an instrument that will try to solve the problem that the level of tablet and level of diabetes is not being matched. Now this is your problem. Now you can go for a non-enhancing method of identifying your what I can say, diabetes. Now if you develop, this is a problem. Now for this problem, if you develop a product, you go and say to any people, say now you have this instrument, non-enhancing measurement of diabetes, and that too, it is very simple, it is more accurate, and based upon the level, you can take your tablet. If you do like this, automatically your adverse effect problem will be solved. Adverse effect is a very big problem. It is in medical technology, it is a very big problem, which what I can say, which makes you people to lose your health, and then your mindset and everything is linked with that. A lot of psychology problems are arising because of adverse effect. See, I think many people will have migraine. I think many people know if you take tablet, then only you will be very much satisfied, but you don't know that that tablet is working or not. But still, it is also a psychological effect. See, if you go to doctor, what the doctor does for the diabetes, every 3 months you have to go for the checkup, and he'll say that after 3 months of reading, looking that, he'll say now you reduce the tablet or increase the tablet. But the diabetics is varying day by day, not 3 months once. And now this becomes a very big problem. What is the adverse effect of this diabetic is that edema forms. Edema is the thickness of your skin and liquid in your what I can say leg and all those things, and then you spoil your other parts, kidney and all those things. Many people think that because of diabetes your kidneys are damaged. No, because of the intake of variable level of medicines, and that excess of medicine will spoil your what I can say your kidney. But many things that because of that flows dead. No, it is not like that, because we don't have a proper tool to say that today my diabetes level is like this, now I want to take this much of medicine. That level is not there, and now this is a problem. Okay, these are the problem. How to solve this problem, how to make this problem to be success. Now here you start with this problem, you develop a project or a product which is to be used for the end user. Now this becomes the startup. I think you can understand what do you mean by startup. What do you mean by startup? This is a problem. These are real-time problems are readily available. Problems are readily available in the society, but no engineers are trying to do that. Still, we are trying to make a project like this. We used to say that take an IEEE paper and do this. That is what we are doing it, but we never think that and this particular thing is going to be useful for the society. In that way, if you think, of course, I don't blame that you take IEEE paper, you solve it and you publish it. That is different. But when you go for a startup, the same IEEE paper, okay, you can make as a product or you can develop as a product and then you can sell it to the people and it is useful for the society. And those things, it comes under IP and then startup. And this is how the structure of your startup goes. I think you got a very good idea. In my further sessions you can get one more ideas. Okay, very new ideas. I'm just going to say some what I can say startup in hospitals where I met and where the startups are being done, where it is more successful. See, this is one example. Similar examples are there in my next what I can say presentation. You can see it very clearly. See, this is how you have to think. This is how you have to think. And now what more problem is there? When you talk about even the same diabetes, I don't know how many people are aware about this. The diabetes people, foods should be saved and it should not have any sort of vibrations. No, and that for protecting their food, and then you should protect from the wound, and that has to be maintained with the very good slipper, and then the slipper needs the different layers. Of course, if you go to food and food technology center in Taramani, there are people who are doing like this, and of course that has not been come out as a product, but they do a lot of research. But if you make our students to go there, or if you make students to get that slipper footwear department, they'll give a lot of ideas. They have a lot of instruments, scanning centers, and all those things are there. And then for that particular foot, it depends upon the person level of diabetes. The foot layer of their what I can say slipper should be changed, and the pressure should be changed, the softness should be changed. But we don't have that. In turn, you say that you just give a common tablet to everybody. That will not work out. Once again, I'll give a simple example for the same diabetic, because diabetic is a very common problem. Everybody knows here. See, if I have a fever, of 100, more than 100, can I say that everybody can have Dolo 650, your disease will be cured? No, it's not like that. We want to check that what is the reason and what scenario that fever has been arise. You have to find the reasons. Okay, then based upon the reason, okay, you can change your tablet level and everything. Then only you can get cured. See, now what happens in diabetic footwear system? They do in a simple way that who are having diabetes, come on, this is a diabetic slipper. We never think that whether that diabetic slipper will be useful for my style of lifestyle living and all those things. We don't do that. Now, if you develop a software, now in that particular footwear shop, if you develop a software, this person is having this much of diabetic level, his skin thickness is varying, his usage is different, his walkability is different, his way of working is different. Now, for that, if I select one beautiful slipper, okay, and so that his entire problem of knee pain will be solved. But you don't have that such system. Now, in a very good way, I can put it, you can develop a software for diabetes system, and so that based upon that you can select your what I can say optimum level of slippers. Now, if you go to that footwear, diabetic and footwear, a lot of research are going. So this is how the problem comes. Problem is not it should be a very big thing. It should be a very simple thing. It's a very basic thing where you can find everywhere. Even when you see something, you can see a lot of problem. But we are here to criticize the problem as an engineer, but we have to make it as a solution. We have to make that solution as a product. Then it goes for marketability. There comes your startup. I think you can understand what is the thing is available in the market. Now, even you would have known that you go for ortho and you say that, I have bone pain, and according to that, some slippers are coming in better. Now, what is the level of ortho? What is the level of your input or your device should be? It means that your slipper should be. For matching that, you don't have any tool or any sensors, anything like that. Do you think that if you have fever, put a developer, everybody will get the problem solved? No. There starts the problem. A very simple thing. I'm just comparing with the fever and then the diabetes. That is what I'm trying to do. If you say that every 650 of Dolo can able to cure everybody's fever, and then you never need any startup or you never need any problem, it is not the case. It's not been done. Doctor will see that what is the reason for that, what is the level, what is the response, and then he keep on changing the tablet and the instructions are changed. But when you talk about a diabetic slipper, or ortho slippers, okay, and the ortho slipper is kept common for everybody. Even you see that even a normal person, if you wear some certain type of slippers, you'll get knee pain, you'll get joint pain. I don't know how many people knows this. Of course, female teacher will be very much aware about it. Some people know they won't put high heels. Somebody will have low heels. Somebody will have flat heels because they feel that pain. See, even normal slipper needs according to their person walking style. You can now use your gait style and you can suggest your footwear. You can have your gait. Gait means what? We are walking style. You just keep a sensor over the knees and you identify the signals. Then, according to that, which slipper you can able to select. That type of softwares are not available now. You can see how this startup can be brought out. Startup is not that doing a very big thing, very small thing. Okay, very small thing. It can be done in a startup. That is very important. And now, when you talk about this startup, I think you got an idea about what you mean by startup, what you mean entrepreneur. Entrepreneur doesn't have any solution or a problem. Entrepreneur is having only one thing, is that I want to do a business. That's it. Okay, and I'll see the market funding. Whereas startup is that it is a small. When you say startup will be a small, very simple thing. It's a small business or small entrepreneurship, we can say in that way. And still you will be the first. When you say it is start, it will be the first. You will be the first person to have that solution. Okay, you should have a solution, and you will be the first to get a solution, and you will be the first to give for the marketability. Okay, if the same product, if somebody copies and does that, he becomes the entrepreneurship. See, for example, a person in nearby, is having more gain in his sales because he's trying to cheat because he don't have competitor. Now, keeping that, and I'm getting more business, I'll get more income. I keep a parallelly one more shop, and that becomes the entrepreneurship. It is not a problem, it is not a solution. Just like that, to have a competitor, okay, because he is earning more and he is selling more cost. For example, in some shops you can identify very clearly some product, it will be 2 rupees when you get it from your nearby shops. Even in our day-to-day life, you can see in market you will get 2 rupees, and then what happens? That has been sold in your nearby house. It will be sold for 4 rupees. Now you got tempted. What is this? He is giving a very high gain. Now same product, why not I can sell it for 3 rupees. Now if you start a shop, now here starts your entrepreneurship. But it is not a problem. It is not a problem. Okay, and it is only just doing to make an income. Okay, and keep it in a competitor in a mind and do it. But here you don't have competitor. Startup doesn't have competitor. Please try to understand. Startup only has a problem, and then a solution, and then a product, then meeting the customer. This is how it goes. So many things that, if you have a IoT device connected with my phone, something like that, that becomes a startup. No, startup is that same like novelty. It means that if you publish a paper, there should be some novelty. The same novelty should be seen in your product also. Okay, and at the same time, the novelty should be most useful for the people. This is how you can put it up. Now, like this, a lot of startups are there, and of course, I can say one company called Future Farms. I think Future Farms. Okay, it's in Torepakam. What they are trying to do is that everybody want to have that. There is a problem in city. I think city, some people doesn't have cultivable land. Okay, even they don't have even half a ground. Now, what in city a culture is developed, the person who is having money, they are renting the empty lands and they cultivate their food. They empty land, they 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 go for rent or lease and they cultivate their food item, because they think that the food which you are taking is not only organic, and they also think that it is GN modified. Now India is going to organic and non-organic, but still the few days are GM and non-GM foods. Okay, non-genetically modified foods and genetically modified foods, but still we are not aware about it. And of course we are eating some food, genetically modified foods. You can see that corn, soft corn, something like that in the market. No, normally corn property is very hard, but since we are not having strong enough teeth and you want to make something sweet, you get a sweet corn, now very soft and sweet will be more, and that corns are genetically modified. And now the market, year after you will have a market not for organic food, you will have genetically modified, non-genetically modified foods. Of course we are not aware about it. Even mustard is having genetically modified mustards. Okay, in America or in other Europe countries, they have a particular shop called, now only we are into organic shops. No, non-genetically modified food items are to be developed in our country also. And that, keeping in mind, this future farm developed a company and they teach them how to do your cultivation. Okay, and it is also run by an engineer. Now I can give one more company like this startup. Okay, and the startup is called, done by a Wipro Wipro engineer who worked in Wipro. It is called Honeycart. Many people doesn't know this Honeycart as a very beautiful item. Honey is equivalent to blood. Okay, taking honey daily in the early morning is equivalent to a blood. You can replace your blood with your honey, and that is what in olden days, people used to take every medicine with the honey, because when your bloods are purified, all the disease will be cured. That is what the reason in Ayurvedic they go for a pure blood and a pure honey, and they give much importance to pure blood and they give much importance to pure honey. And now honey is the replacement for blood. Okay, and many people doesn't know this, and many people think that honey will have something. Honey is having a different property. If you take it honey hot water, it has a different parameter. If you take the honey in cold water, that is having a different style of approach. That will work in a different style in your body after entering into your body. And similarly, honey you are taking with some medicine, that is see, for example, honey and then lemon and then ginger, you combine it, that gives a different effect in your body. So what happens, one Wipro engineer, it is called Honeycart, I think you can check it in your internet, and that is also startup. What he did, in honey, he did the honey to get the honey from a plant which is having a medical medical applications. For example, if I want to cure diabetics, now you have some plants like neem. Neem can be able to clear your diabetes. So what he does, he makes the plantation of neem and flowers. Okay, and below that neem tree, he is trying to cultivate the honey, and that honey is being sold per kg more than 200 rupees, 2000 rupees, not 200 in dollars. It is being sold out for other countries. See, this is out the problem. So you try and understand, why do you want to take tablet? No need. What he does, he keeps 10 trees of neem and he cultivates that neem tree. Below that neem tree, the honeycombs have been developed, and that honey will sit into the neem only. When you take the honey of a neem and you take a plant where you have jasmine, below that jasmine, if you cultivate honey, only jasmine contents are there. And this is how the startup is coming up. I think you can understand very clearly. See, these are the examples of startup. And I'll give one more startup by a very young student within 2 years. Okay, and she was able to make a very big money in the society. Okay, and she was doing her biotechnology. This is one student from I think she's from Salem. I think so. Salem, yes. Economical Salem, and she has done a very beautiful biotechnology student. See, why this? I'm just giving ideas. It will make you to understand how to make a startup, how the startup comes. That is what reason I'm giving a lot of examples. These are all live examples. See, there is a girl student who, I think she didn't even get married, and biotechnology, and she was being there in the home, and she don't have any good job, and she started a company in biotechnology. See how this works out. What happens, I think she was there in her hometown, a village, when they were slaughtering the goat, and her mother said very clearly, this was the startup story, which is really happened, and in a village, when they were slaughtering the goat, they have the goat in their home, and she was instructed that that particular goat should not be given any neem food or any sort of what I can say, the food which makes the flesh of the goat get into the sour taste. So what they said, what they gave before slaughtering the goat, okay, and the girl was instructed that particular goat should not be fed with certain food items, and she asked the mother, why is it so? When even in villages there is a very big procedure before they want to slaughter cut what I can say, a hen, they'll keep separately for 2 days, and the food items will be different. And the girl asked his mother, why this is happening, why you are not giving neem for the goat? But normally when you have poultry, when you have goat, normally they'll give the neem for these animals because it is an antibiotic. Okay, even when you have your what I can say, during the month of August, there will be a problem in the what I can say, birds. For example, your this one, your hen and your chickens will have a problem. By that time, they won't eat. I think there is a month where we will not eat that food, but we doesn't know how to link with the scientific terms. I think if you are a Hindu, you know that in that particular period, you call it, you will pray for what I can say, that protasimasam. They used to say that protasimasam or something like that. You will 1 month, you won't take a food in that particular. It will comes under the month of August and November. By that time, the birds and goats will have a lot of infections, and that is the period where you have a climatic change. The rainy season starts. That is what the reason, you have some systematic procedures. That is different part, but still during that time only the goat and chickens will get a lot of diseases, infections. So by that time they'll give the neem for these animals, and this how the procedure is there in the poultry. Even in poultry you have a lot of things you could do on startups, but nobody is looking to that. And now this goat, this goat was been not given neem for 2 days, and when she asked her mother, she said, and no, if you give neem tomorrow, when you cut it, the taste of the particular flesh will have some sour effect. That you will get some sort of changes in the taste, and so that is the reason we never give it. She said very clearly. Now, what this girl thought immediately, and she went to a situation that now there is a normal problem with the people when you take chicken. Everybody knows that boiler chicken, white color boiler chicken will have more than 48 antibiotics when you give Chinese food. It has been fed with the Chinese food. And same way, when you take country chicken, okay, when you take country chicken, they never like it, country chicken. They never like it. Normally people won't like country chicken because it will have bones. Okay, it will have flesh. Now, what she did, she went to Namakkal poultry and she checked a boiler. There was 48 antibiotic. Because of this 48 antibiotic system fed through the food which is being taken from the China. Normally Chinese foods are very cheap, so these poultry people will take such foods from Chinese foods, tin food, packed foods, and that 48 foods are there in the flesh. If you take it, and your fertility is coming down. That is what you can see that a lot of fertility centers are coming. This is not my statement, it is a proved statement taken from that poultry department. The poultry is that even you get a lot of problem because that antibiotics, when you take that food, it enters your body. What she did, and why people are not liking this country chicken, you don't have flesh. What she did, she developed a food item. Okay, she developed a food item especially for this broilers, and that broiler chickens. Okay, that broiler chickens, and then that broiler now after giving the country foods, now that 48 antibiotics has reduced to 45. 45 is removed, and that broiler chickens. Okay, I think she did initially. She had taken 50 broiler chickens. Okay, broiler chickens, and she fed a food. She fed a food of which is made by herself, and because when you say broiler, it is have a normal growth. When she gave the food as her own food, now I'll just make it like this. Initially, she started with 50 chickens. Okay, chickens. Since she is from biotechnology, she knows how to make this food item, and she made the food from what I can say, normal Ayurvedic type of medicine. But still, I not give in-depth knowledge about it. I don't have time. Now that food is given to the chicken. Now he checked with the same poultry department in Namakkal. There was only 3 antibiotic in the chicken. The taste was not changed. Okay, and the flesh was there, which is a very big problem in the normal chicken. Okay, it is a very big normal problem with the chicken. You don't have flesh. Now she made 50 broiler chickens, and she gave normal food which she designed, and that has been checked for that. Only 3 antibiotics were there, and there she started Saravana Mulige chicken. I think it is there. A lot of outlets are that Saravana Mulige chicken, Mulige chicken. Okay, and this is how the shop of startup was started. If you say like this, a lot of startups are there. See, you'd understand that startup is not a very big thing. It's a very small thing where you can see in your day-to-day life. That is what the reason I'm going to say that how the startup has come out. Because many people say, what do you mean startup? Startup means do something. No, it's not like that. This is a real-time startup. And she does the outlets all over Tamil Nadu. Okay. And she sells the food item also. Even you can buy some what I can say 50 chickens, 10 chickens, you feed them with their food, you give a very quality food, and the cost of that chicken is around 600 or 400, I think so. And of course in Chennai you have one outlet. It is very costly, and people who are very much aware about it, only those people go and buy that chickens. But cheating is also happening. They say that organic chicken, no, the Saravana Mulige, they produce their own food item, and they sell the food item, and as well as the chicken with that food item is also sold, and they have the certification from the Namakkal Poultry Department stating that this is an antibiotic free chickens. See, a biotechnology student can able to do a very beautiful startup, and she is now millionaire. Okay, she did a very beautiful, she has a very big company in Namakkal, I think so. See, you can see like this lot of startups. I think now you got an idea about startup, and now you will be very clear what do you mean by startup, how to come out with a startup. Now we'll go to the presentation now. Anyway, this should be done earlier, but still I think now now this is your mission vision and startup. Now everybody knows that we are jumping into some mission vision. Already you have seen something about startup. Now I'll give something about mission vision. Now when you talk about mission vision, mission vision is that lens, camera model, 2D vision, 3D visions, and all those things are there. Image segmentation, pixel classification, and you have a lot of industrial application. Just I'm giving an outline of machine learning. See, when you talk about machine vision system, okay, when you talk about machine vision system, the 3 parameters are very important. Is that your camera system, frame grabbing system, and then your computer. Okay, when you talk about machine vision, okay, you say only about images. See, now there is a problem with our people is that there are some engineers, they do only with the image processing. You take some medical image, you work on that image, but you never think about how it is being grabbed. We never think about the camera. See, when you combine everything and you do something, that becomes the machine vision. Now, for example, if you take your own camera, you take some data and you analyze, that becomes the machine vision system. For example, if you go to any radiology center, sir, give me the images of kidney, I analyze this, that becomes a different, that becomes the image processing. When you talk about computer or machine vision, is that you have your own camera, you collect your images, you understand the what I can say ambient conditions of the grabbing of the images, then you process it, then you do some coding, and that becomes a machine vision. Because many people think that machine vision is different and same, and image processing is same, and medical imaging is same, and all those things, computer visions are same, but still each are having their own level of classification and area of working out procedures, and that is what you want to make very clear here. When you say machine vision, you should have a camera, and you should have the acquired images, and you should have processed the image. If I go to any ultrasonic centers, I never bother about who is the patient. I never bother about whether it is a female or male. I take only kidney, I analyze, I say that this is the problem. Now that becomes the image processing engineer. I think you can got it. When you talk about computer vision, all the coding and decisions are made by that particular machine itself. It is called computer vision, because machine is operated by human, computer can operate by itself. I think you can understand. When I say computer vision, automatically deep learning comes, because machine is operated by a person. Machine is not operated by a computer. If machine is operated by automatically, you say that automation. When it is for production, you say automation. When you say it is for our what I can say terminology, it means that our engineering IC background. If you want to say computer vision, the machine itself will take the decision. It will give the answer for your problem. I think you can understand what I'm trying to say. Now, if a person is coming with a problem, for example, diabetes. Now, I am going to measure the diabetes by using my ordinary thermal camera, for example. Okay, keep it that way. Okay, now I'm just going to see some part in my body. I measure diabetes, and then if that particular software suggests to me that this is the level of my intake of my diabetes tablet, then it becomes the computer vision. If it measures only the value and says that this is my diabetic value, and there comes your machine vision. I think you can understand what you mean, machine vision and computer vision. Computer vision is that human involvement will not be there. The entire thing is done by the computer. When it is a machine, okay, human has to interfere and he has to give the result. He'll be the intermediate for the solution. I think you can understand what do you mean by image processing, what do you mean by computer vision, what do you mean by your machine vision, computer vision, and then image processing. I think you got it. What is the basic idea of what machine vision? Now, when you talk about machine vision, we never think about the lens, camera, and model. See, there is one beautiful application in lens, camera, model. Here you can have a startup. What is that startup? Once again, I just share my screen so that I can switch on to my studio. See, now when you talk about fluoroscopic imaging. Now here starts one company. What happens when you go for fluoroscopic imaging? There is a very big problem. What now recent researchers are doing, they take their smartphone. Okay, in the smartphone you have the lens at the back side. Okay, now they are developing a polymer. Okay, a polymer with filters. They apply your polymer with the filters. Okay, and that filter is kept at the camera phone background. You know, in this region, I'm going to place it here. Now my camera is going to become as a fluoroscopic camera. And this is how the startup is started. Because the problem is that everywhere I cannot go and check my fluoroscopy imaging. It's a very big tedious process. Now what they did, I think it is a collaborative research done by America and China. They take a small white color plastic. They applied some chemical. Now here chemical people is trying to jump into this area of combination of chemical and making a polymer which can able to filter normal what I can say your normal range of frequencies, fluorescent frequencies. Other things will be blocked. And now that polymer, this is a polymer, you know, this polymer is going to filter that RGB signals, and then it allows only fluoroscopic signals inside, and now your camera becomes a fluoroscopic camera. And now this is one startup which has been started, and this is one more example. I can give a lot of examples I can give. And of course, if at all you want to see these things of startups based on medical apps, if you want to know about medical app-based startups, you can go to the website called iMedical App. You can see lot of apps. Even you can in your daily use, you need some apps to measure your body level and all those things. It is being given free of cost, and you can check it out. Okay, and of course the people who have that iPhone watch and iPhone mobile, you can see that they can measure SpO2, they measure their heart rate. Similar way, there are a lot of real-time medical app. Don't think that it is a duplicate app. If you download it from my Play Store, that will be a duplicate app. That is not been checked, because when you download it, they say clearly, Google, we are not responsible for these apps. It's your sole responsibility. You cannot go and sue them if you do some medical app. If at all you want to know that app, what is the alternate way, which is the best hospital which is doing in this way is called your I think if you go to Bangalore, there is one hospital. They are totally into engineering based hospital. It is your Narayana. It is a Narayana cardiology center. Cardiology center. Cardiology center. Okay, this Narayana Cardiology Center is purely working on iPad based, iPhone based, and what I can say, iPad, iPhone, and all those things are there. And then digital equipment based treatments are being given, and their doctors never give the suggestions. Only software gives the suggestion. See, for example, I'll give one example here how the treatment has been done here and how that startup has been come up. Now I'll show a company. I think I'll show a company. It is called SoftSteam. I'll just show you how this SoftSteam have worked out to give a product based on your iPhone and iPad. I'll just show you. It's not a big issue. Before that, I'll try to complete it because when I want to talk about the company, I want to give some details about more than 20 to 15 companies which has been given as a startup in the field of medical imaging applications, in the field of instrument and everything. I'll just show you. And now I think I can jump onto my slide and you can able to see this. So this is the lens system. When you talk about the lens, people never think that there is a work for the chemical engineers to work on the lens and EC engineers can work on that part. Okay, you can just make a very beautiful research only in this lens part. Okay, and if at all you want to get what are the lenses are available in the market and all those things, you can get it from your what I can say from this iMedical app, which I've shown here. I think you can able to get it very clearly. What because each area you have your own ideas to be ventured. Okay, now if at all you want to go for camera, if you want to go for 3D systems, there are 3D system based analysis. Okay, and this is how 3D machine vision system. Okay, we don't have 3D system. If at all you want to have these type of 3D systems to be developed, okay, and it is a software called Mimics. I think I can show you here. It is called Mimics. We never do something with Mimics. It's a 3D software. Okay, you give any image. It is a based on your what I can say Malaysian company. I think so. Malaysia Materialist company. Malaysia, a company name called Materialize. They do this with 3D mimics, and this is the course taken by the medical college people in Ramachandra, by the IA and then ML people. They learn this mimic software for analyzing the images in 3D because 3D you cannot get in your scanning system. 3D cannot able to give. Now this 3D has been jumped into one more area, is that AR and VR of medical applications. Now AR and medical applications has been brought out in even normal Windows. Windows 10 has a very beautiful tool to make your AR and VR. See, these are your what I can say, the startups in these areas are developed. I'll just show the company, and before that I want to just continue with this because you should know what is by 3D, where is the company, who is doing that, and of course you'll get a lot of information. Please try to take a notes of it because the thing what I'm going to give and what I'm going to say, you will not get it in internet. That is very important. Even if you keep recording, that will not have a very beautiful analysis. After later on, if you want to do something research on that area, see, that is a very important thing. And you can see this is the setup of 3D mission vision system. This is called your 3D mission vision system, where your cameras are kept and you can analyze and you can do your analysis. Now, when you talk about the output of 3D mission vision system, okay, this is what the output you get it. Of course, these outputs you can brain analysis and your facial muscle analysis, and you can use for your blood flow analysis and all those things. You can have it in a 3D face analysis, and of course, you can do it for energy based analysis also. Now, when you talk about this, these are the outputs of 3D imaging system. because normally you would have seen a lot of imaging systems. I think it is not a very big it is not a very big issue for you people, because you would have seen in our student projects having the images, but many would have not been seen about 3D image analysis. See, when you talk about this 3D image analysis, you can be very clear that when your analysis is there, when your analysis is there, when your analysis is that uh, you can analyze the very normal tubes. See, I'll give one more example which I have taken from cardiology. See, if you take cardiology, many people having odd blocks. You have odd blocks. Blocks can be seen in the vein where the vein structure is of 3 mm. Okay, 3 mm. Whereas when the veins are 1 nano mm, if there is any block, you don't have instrument to measure it. If I give that image as 3D image, I convert it into 3D and I convert it into pseudo color, then only I can able to get it. I think you can able to understand. If your image nmm is micro mm, okay, you have micro mm. No, that the channel, the length, there are some micro cavities will be going there. If you have a block, you cannot identify. But your heart rate ecosystem will say that there is block, but you cannot identify it. It's very tough. Okay, it's very tough. They identify only by using your injection, and you see that echo is coming out. Okay, heart rate echoes are coming out, and then they analyze, but still they cannot even find out that small level of blocks in the vein, and still there is a problem here also. Still they are not aware about this, what type of block is that, whether it is a clot, whether it is a thrombosis, whether it is a plague. Still now it is an empty region. It is an empty region. But for all those diseases, we'll take one medicine. Still these things are all under research. It is under research. You cannot identify whether it is a blood clot. They know that it is a clot. See, I have one passage from sewage. For example, you take one sewage. Okay, in our regular home there will be some sewage in our home. It's common everywhere. See, when your sewage is blocked with in bathroom, it will be because of what? Normally a soap cover, or normally with the hair. When you have the same sewage block in your kitchen, it has only the waste of the food items. Maybe without knowing, it will block somewhere. Now, can I do the same procedure for clearing the block for the bathroom and then clearing for your sink? No, you cannot do it, because when you want to do something in the bathroom, you can give mild pressure. When it is going for my what I can say, my kitchen, I should not give much pressure. I can flush it out with the force of very good water pressure. But still, I cannot use the same procedure for cleaning my bathroom, cannot be used for my sink cleaning of blockage. But in our body, it has been done in this way. It has been done in this way. We keep a common tool and you press it for everybody. See how reaction will be there. Now, I take a very big rod which I used to clear my bathroom. I cannot use the same rod and put it in my sink. My sink will go. So this is what the thing is happening here. They go on empirical method of applications. Normally they do it in empirical. So if heart rate is like this, the vein small. Even you go and ask. I have met a lot of doctors. I should not say the doctors. When I went to these doctors and I asked what is the problem, can you able to give me some problem so that I can work out with research? And there's a lot of problems. See, we are able to like this, but we cannot able to identify. And especially when you talk about this, a very important disease. Now it is only in the research. Pulmonary heart pressure. Now this is a very big area, need to be addressed by many researchers. When I went for pulmonary heart pressure analysis, by that time I got it. Still this pulmonary heart pressure is under a myth. Okay, many researchers are going. How this research is coming? Only because of food item. If your food habit and lifestyle is changed, okay, there is a lifestyle modification clinic in Narayana heart surgery, Narayana cardiac center in Hosur, I think so. There is a very big problem there. Now they have a very big clinic and they are also doing some research. Now, this is how you have to make your problem to be taken from the real-time environment. Then you do a solution and they'll be very happy. Now, till today, they don't have any proper tool for pulmonary heart pressure. Okay, this is how your research need to be focused. Your startup should be focused. Startup should be focused on problem, not that I'm doing some product, selling it out. Reality, requirement. what is the marketability, what is the requirement of that particular product. If I make a solution for this problem, what I'll get it, that thing has to be analyzed. Now I think I got you what you mean by this type of 3D mission. If I have this 3D mission mimics to be applied there in pulmonary artery pressure, then normally you will get a very beautiful answers, very beautiful softwares, and very beautiful softwares answers need to have a startup. And now this is how you want to make your 3D mission system. And now you know very well about 2D vision system. No, nothing is there to talk about 2D vision system. It is just like that. What you do it for your normal images, you just segment the image and you just do it with your what I can say. You segment your cancer cells and then you rearrange your images and all those things. So I think you can get it. Segmentation is a very normal thing. You can understand what do you mean by segmentation, and I think I have to rush it out because these things are very common. Everybody knows about it. Okay, when you zoom it, you can see this number. Okay, when you zoom this part, you can see this number. So now this is the pixel values. Okay, and these pixel values are arranged in a form of structure, and you can do this even in your normal CT, 2D images, MRI images also. We never do like this. And if you analyze the pixel, you can see their downfall of the pixels, and this is a 3D plot. Okay, this is a plot. Normally you have 2D plot, you have 3D plot. Of course, the 3D plots are done only in engineering education, I think so. We use only in your graph, I think so. It is called your Smith chart. Actually, Smith chart, polar charts are coming under 3D plots. Of course, if you visualize those 3D plot in these type of software, you will get a very beautiful idea. Of course, we see in a flat wave, we doesn't know how to imagine it. That is what the problem. See, when I give a flat photo, you say that by seeing that photo, his nose is lifted up. You see that the ears are lifted up because you are seeing that image not as a 2D, you are looking as a 3D. But when you touch the photo, it is very flat. But by seeing that photo, and your mind gives a third dimensional view, and it says that this fellow is having a lengthy nose. Do you touch? You can able to see that, feel it. Then in the photo, lengthy nose. No, you analyze the image in the 3D, and that is how you have to make it in mimics. You give your 2D, and that particular software will work as a brain, and it makes you to analyze what in by 3D. And now you got a very clear idea, I think so. See, I'll repeat it once again. You have a photo. You never seen a person earlier before, and I have given a photo, and I ask you, what do you feel about this person after seeing that fellow? You say that this fellow is white in color. Okay, I can see my eyes. The color is clear. Okay, no, nothing is there. What is there in the photo? You are just reflecting, saying that the color is white because I also see that it is white. So when I say that the nose is long, okay, nose is long. This fellow is having a long nose. Can I able to see that nose is long? Can I able to feel it as I feel that white and black? No, only humans can do that, because one more human can say that it is a lengthy nose because he is having a stereoscopic viewing analysis and make that image to feel that it is having a lengthy nose, lengthy eye, or lengthy ears. By measuring, you cannot do that in that particular photo. So your brain is working as a software, okay, 3D model, and taking the 2D and makes it as a 3D, and it gives the idea to you that this fellow is having a lengthy nose. I think his ears are big. I think he's having some problems. When you say some problems, can I able to get it virtually? No, you cannot get it. Even virtually, you cannot get it. Only you have that sense of 3D, then only you can do it. Okay, and that is very important thing. That is a very big part to discuss about it, about your 3D modeling, 3D image processing. Okay, you have 2.5 digit image processing model also is there. Of course, these 2.5 digit and 3 digit are used by civil engineers. I'm very sorry to say this, but actually we have to use it. But civil engineers, they use these type of 3D modeling and 2.5 digit modeling, and that is very important. Okay. And then when you talk about gray level thresholding, these are very common to you, and you can get it very clearly. This is a demo just like that to give an introduction about binary images and all those things. You have given it, and you can see this is the pixel wise neighborhood connection, and this is the in-depth analysis of the pixels. Okay, and I think so. I'll just check the time. What is the Professor? What is the closing time?
Sir, it's actually 11:30 to 11:45, sir.
Okay, because I am running out of time because a lot of things are there. Thank you very much. I'll try to complete by 11:30. Okay, because I expect more questions from the participants. And now this is how the connected components and labeling. We never think in this part. We just take segment and you analyze, but pixel-wise analysis is not being done. Why this pixel-wise analysis is required? It is required. See, for example, if you take a block from a CT image, okay, now we say you segment it and you say the size. This is how you do it in all cancer cells and all those things. But you never take or you never study why this is being formed, whether it is because of blood, whether it is because of plague. Okay, plague is a different material, and whether it is of protein. Protein also will have like this. Protein blocks will be there, and then the protein will be like cholesterol and thrombosis. Thrombosis is one more material, and these things are not been considered. It is not been considered. Okay, and even in COVID also there is a very big problem here. The COVID says that you will get an heart block, you will get a block. Okay, who did this? Who said this? In Italy, they started the research. You can see that COVID-19, what I can say, a dead person body is been analyzed for their tissues and cells since he has been affected, and there they found that the block has been formed for that person because of this COVID. And that is what the reason, because it lies with your lungs, and then it lies with your heart, and then it lies with the breathing. So your leg will not get a direct connectivity with the breathing. And that is what I am trying to say. It's a very important thing. The block plays a very vital role. Till today, we didn't analyze what is the block, how the block has been analyzed. It's a very important thing. Okay. Still, we are in image processing. You segment, you make the size, you segment it. But we didn't analyze what property of the chemical that block is made up of. Okay, even doctors are trying to find out, very difficult. Even they do this check by blood test, but not by the image. If I click that image, even you, they call it as puck. They call in medical, they call puck. They'll have a mouse point like this. When I press this software should say that whether it is a blood clot, whether it is what I can say, plague or cholesterol. But how doctors are checking now? They take the prothrombin time, they take the blood, and they'll see how far your clotting time. And if a clotting time is more, they say that this clot is because of blood. But they are not checking that entire particular point, and they are not doing. They don't have very good image processing engineers to check it out. That is what the problem. And when you talk image processing engineer, they'll say that no, we don't have correct ethical boards to clear all those things. See, still problems are there. Anyway, engineer has to get into the problem, find the answer. Now, if you develop a particular software to identify the clot classification, that becomes the startup, and that becomes the image processing application. That becomes your algorithm coding going to play a very vital role. And now you can sell it to the doctors. Okay, don't think that startup is only for having some product for other people, not for medical. Medical really requires a lot of startups. Okay, I think you can get it. What is the reason I'm discussing about this connected component labeling? Because I'm just talking about pixel labeling. You see, same pixel, that is a variety, and here C is there. So you can able to understand, and this is how your classification is to be done. And now you can have this labeling. Of course, these are all very common thing, labeling of the pixels. I think nothing is there to discuss about it, and you know very well about all those things. I'll just skip on because I want to get into the what I can say, my startup, because startup has to be what I can say, startup has to be given much importance in this time, because these are all very common thing, blob analysis and all those things. Because I am much interested to say some other companies, and I'll just make it startups. Okay, I think you got an idea about the startup. A startup company, a partnership, a temporary organization designed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model. And then you can see I can give a very small example here. A new small company is equal to a startup. Cost to enter market, easy to reach many people, and high risk and high reward. And of course, this startup needs to be addressed in terms of medical. That is how we are going to make it. Now, this is what you say. What do you mean by your idea? Startup needs your own idea. Okay, it needs its own idea. Nothing that somebody is already doing, and if you do the same thing, it is an entrepreneurship. You have your own idea where where that idea can able to market it out. Okay, I've seen some startup. I think one fellow did a very good startup. I think he's from Loyola College. I remember one startup. Many people know how to eat the fish. Okay, many people know that how to buy the fish, but many people doesn't know that for this particular fish, the particular medicine for particular disease. I think you can able to understand. I'll make it like this. See how a startup has came out. Very beautiful. I didn't remember the name of the startup. Everybody knows how to eat the fish. It means that no, each fish is having its own style of cooking, and each fish how to eat, how to handle the fish. The style is there. And I think you can able to understand what I'm trying to say. Eating style. Some fish, you have bones that should be taken in some way. Some fish you can make it as a, what I can say. Uh, you can dry and you can eat it. Some you can, even if you go to Narwhal, they boil and eat. Some fishes they boil and eat. That is the eating style. But we know we cook in a different style. That is different. Eating style is different. Some people will have the fire and the fish and they'll eat it. That is one more style of eating fish. Eating, everybody knows it. Style of eating or cooking or whatever it may be. But I would have given a very common slang wording eating. But many doesn't know that medical value of the fish will cure. Medical value of the fish will cure the disease. I think he's from Loyola College, I think so. Chennai, Loyola, Namgan. What he did, if you have heart problem, okay, if you have heart problem, you have to take this fish. And if you want to get that fish, you will not get it. Now you can order in online, okay, and you can get that fish. If you take continuously this variety of fish, your problem will be solved. Even for diabetes, you have fish. I think I didn't remember. I studied a very big, what I can say, what I did. I was really enthused on reading that, but still now I stopped it because I'm not interested in having this vegetarian item. So I stopped it. So I cannot remember it. And of course, there is a procedure to take the fish, and he makes this as a key point according to your medical report. For example, I think when in Tamil, in Tamil Nadu, they have this fish for one disease. And I think females will take fish when they give their child, birth. One particular fish they will give because they can secrete more milk, and it's a olden days technique. It is a olden days technique. When they get their child, immediately the mother has to secrete more milk. For that, their food item will be changed. In that one fish item they'll give. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the fish. I think people who are attending the program, they know that. Some people in their family, they have given their items. See, the fish plays a very vital role, but still we forget it. We doesn't aware about keeping that as a point. He started one fish selling company, and that sells the fish, and he cleans and he gives and he sends the courier within 2 or 3 hours, I think so. It's there in Chennai. I don't remember the company name. Anyway, and this is how your medical fishing and then your startups are coming out. Okay, see these are the live examples so that you can get an idea whenever you want to do some startups. See, you have to know that you should be unique. Okay, that fellow made a unique their properties that people are not aware. Your idea will be successful. See, now diabetes people, they are not eating fish. Somebody will not eat, they'll take only 2 fishes. If this diabetic fish, this particular fish, if he eats, his diabetic level will come and he'll also be satisfied. And same way, what happens, he'll be getting a good health, and he makes in that way, and he hit the market and he got successful. And now this is what the startup ideas. It should be a disruptive and an existing market. It means that create a new idea what not seen before. Okay, even a small fish, you can do a very good business. Okay, very good startup. Of course, he made an app and he sold it. I think you can understand. The market research is very important. What do you mean by market research? What do you mean market research? See, I found that fish is to be an ideal for curing your disease. Now, if I go this and sell it in what I can say, Mylapore, where a lot of people who are non-vegetarians, vegetarians are there, you cannot sell it out. This is called market research. The same, though your idea is so good, okay, but where I'm going to sell this, where my customers will be there for this particular product, for particular this idea will be hitting the market. See, if you go to, for example, Tiruvallur, and if you say something about organic shops, they'll kick you out because they cultivate their own food. They know how to make their own food. If the same organic shop, if you put it in Mylapore, they understand the value because they don't have facility to cultivate such organic food in their home. Now that is the marketplace. So not only making your idea is good, you have to identify where is your market. That is called market research, and it validates your idea. Though many startups are failed because the proper matching of the market is not been done. Potential of the market has to be understood, and that is very important. Okay, and when you talk about your startup, what is that? What do you own? Your idea is your own idea. Okay, many startups acquire IP protection. Your ideas can be protected with intellectual property rights. That is what your design, that is your patent, everything. When you say you're a startup, you should have an IP for your idea. Very important. When you say it is a startup, you will have your own idea. That is what it is trying to say. Okay. And then a minimal startup team. Normally, many people talk about startup, but startup needs a team. Team is very important. And hacker, it means a developer, a manager, a designer. Okay, and manager will hand the business. For example, they call it as this is what the startup model for a software company. But if you take in a common forum, I can say that the people who has to be there in the office, okay, who maintains the technicality, he'll be called as a developer or a coder or a hacker, whatever it may be. Okay, and the next stage is the manager. Okay, manager is that who talks about how to sell this product, how to handle the market. When you get hipster is the designer. Who is a designer? The developer will keep on developing, but the designer has to say, see, this is the forecasting model. Hereafter, only this model will be hitting the market. Try to do this type of code. He will instruct you. So a minimum 3 sections should be there for a startup. But in our college, in our engineering college, startups are done by 1 or 2 students, and he doesn't know how to separate the work, and there comes the failure. Even the product is good, but see, if at all you want to make a startup by 4 students, one should develop the product, the other should focus the product, the third one should have a managerial attitude, how to sell this, how to reach it, how to make it market, and all those things. And these 3 people are very important, and that has to be separated, and that should be done. But still, I've seen many colleges, they develop something 3D printer based something they are talking, and then they don't go for marketing, they fail it, even though they get the funding, and that fails in the initial stage itself. Now when you talk about the startup, of course, this is the way ideation, conceptation, commitment, and validation, scaling, and establishment. This is how the startup timeline. Okay, if you want an idea to be created. Of course, when you want to create an idea, okay, vague idea, sometimes it will be not confirmed, sometimes you don't find right skill. And then if you want to have that, the concepting, making that idea to a concept, it needs 36 months. Okay, minimum you start with 3 months to 6 months, 12 months, 24. And this is the number which I have taken from the average startup company's review. Of course, research article, not my own, it's a research article. And now when you talk about commitment, it's very important. Ability to develop the product according to the customer requirement. And that is very important. I can give this an example about customer employability. What do you mean by that? I can give one more example. It's a one more startup in Kolattur, I think so. It has been done by one particular, what I can say, engineer. I think I think I don't remember the name, because I'm into this business and making many people to do this type of startups. But still, I can remember the concept. See, there is a problem here. You have a washing powder. Okay, washing powder. Okay, how this startup was started? Washing powder. This washing powder doesn't depends upon the water. It means that whatever the product you buy, that particular area water quality is not checked, and that particular area usage is not measured. What do you mean by usage? It means that whether you're going to hand wash, whether you're going to machine wash. But still, what the washing powder we buy is common for all type of water and all type of method. And what happens, your materials lifetime is reduced, and your quality is being reduced. What he did, he started a company for a washing powder. If he goes to one area, geographical area, for example, Kolatur. For example, I think it was in Kolatur. In Kolatur area, he has taken the water. He measured the TDS and he measured their people's usage, whether it's a hand wash or a machine wash. By that keeping idea, he designed his own soap, washing soap, and he checked this quality by applying it in their area. So area wise the soap combination, chemical combination changed. I think it is a very beautiful business. It's running out now. It's running out now. So area wise, he'll go to that particular area, he'll check the water quality, and for this area this is the combination, so that the material will be very good, long standing material. And especially these type of materials, if you go for very big saris, when you go for this sari washing, they put some oil. I think if you give it in any sort of companies, washing laundry companies, the laundry companies are not also aware that this particular area water needs this particular type of what I can say chemical combination to clean this particular cloth, and to clean this particular cloth. And keeping that idea, he has started his own business, and it's a very successful business. I think it is in Kolatur. It's in Kolatur, and it was run by one professor. And this is how the startup idea should come. So, the idea, conceptation, and commitment. Now we understand what you mean commitment. You do something with your soap. It's not a very big thing. Okay, it's not a very big thing, but you need a commitment. How far the customer required, how far the customer is having a problem in those areas, and that needs of commitment to change the product. And you have to do the validation. You give a test sample, you check how far it is going to give the money and scale it. If a product like this, how much I'll sell it, and that's how you make your establishment. And this is the startup time. This is how your startup needs. And I think so the prototypes has to be made in 2 to 10 weeks, and that's very important. And of course, even if you go for iterating your prototype, of course this is a very big area which you want to talk about design and development and product development. And if at all you want to have an idea about this, there is a course called MTech in product design and development. It's an industry oriented course, and of course I think it's a multidisciplinary course where in many institutions are offering. Of course, in Kanjipuram, I think IIT ADM, they have this type of courses. When you go there, they will talk about much about the prototyping, iterating, and all those things. Okay, and because and a very important thing, money, how to start, because everybody will have an idea how to start with this. What I can say, startup with the money. You need a money. Okay, normally there is a very big problem when you talk about this particular type of area. Everybody will say that every idea and I have market but money has to be gone with angel investors. There are some angel investors. Of course, this is the what I can say presentation taken from the textbook. Okay, a startup textbook, and that data has been displayed here, and it's called angel. But I don't want to look into that part, but still I want to be very clear in my presentation, because whenever you ask I say some 20,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees, you should give some validation. Since I'm an engineer, I should give anything valid proof. That is what the reason I have taken the US market and I have analyzed it, and it is called angel investor. Okay, and when you talk about angel investor, is that individual who provides initial capital for a business startup. Okay, somebody, some individuals, who is having some amount, and angels also will have their percentage. For example, I call you a professor, come on, I have an investment in my area, come on, you try to invest me, and according to your investment, you will be getting 5% of the entire profit, or 2% of the profit, or 3% of the profit. And I cannot say 2% and 3%. I should say if I invest 5,000 or 10,000, I will get my profit of 1 lakh. In that 1 lakh, I will give you 5 lakhs. This is how you have to figure out an idea for the person who want to give and who want to become as an investor, who want to become as an angel investor. Okay, and that is very important. And now you can go for venture capitals. Okay, financial resources given to earlier stage companies. See, this venture capital is a very important thing. Okay, it is called seed funding, startup funding, and growth series, second round, expansion, and then bridging, and all those things are there. Anyway, when you talk about virtual venture capital. See, when you go for venture capital, bank loans are there, and you can get some what I can say, some grouped people, individual people. See, there is a lot of procedure to go ahead with the getting your VC, venture capital. Okay, by means what I can say, you just go and give your idea, convince a firm. For example, I have a good idea. Okay, now if I go and give it to a company, that fellow will steal you. So what you have to do, that idea should be it should be intellectually filed. It means that that idea should be patent. Then you go to any any firm, okay, and you say your idea. You say that this is an idea where I have registered in the patent office, and you can say your idea, you can show your potentiality, you can show your profit and growth. Automatically the investor will try to get into your contact and you can get it. Okay, and now this is how the what I can say, funding timeline is a very important thing. Okay, this is the timeline, and of course this is a very in-depth analysis of startup, which I never want to get into that. But anyway, you can see a break-even point. If somebody gives 10,000 rupees, you start, you do something, individual investment. Then once the individual investment prove that you can able to make a very good product and you can able to get the very good what I can say market, then automatically it gets into the next stage is called venture capital and acquisition merging strategies. See, I think if you know that there are an example, YouTube was not Google's idea. YouTube was a person who developed that channel and made it. Now what happens when he made with initial funding from the individuals and he hosted a server and he made a YouTube, and then they went for venture capital? What happens? They went to the Google and Google tried to acquire that company. This is how the next stage, a startup. When you do something and you can sell it out also, you have a very beautiful thing. If you have 10 startups, you can sell the startups. Do you know who is the company who is doing such buying startup companies? ITC is a very beautiful people. They never get into the ground level. They never do that. They directly go a company, a small company. They do have very good market. They analyze the potential. Immediately, it will be a product of ITC. See, you can see this ITC. If you go to Agarbatti, okay, instant candles, ITC cycle brand. You check into the cycle brand. Cycle brand initially was done by some other people, and that has been acquired by ITC. And you can see that Sunfeast biscuits. The Sunfeast biscuit was able to hit the market with a very simple idea. 5 rupees packet of biscuit. He is the first person who did that. And that is what the reason Britannia got his sales down, and that has been now acquired by ITC. ITC is very much interested into acquiring this small startups, okay, and they never bother about it, because one stage they found that you have good market and you can able to do very good business. When you buy this particular small company, they immediately sell it for huge amount. I think recently White Hat Junior, a robotic online teaching company, was also sold, but I don't see that what is the amount. But it has been heard that it's a very small online company. It has been sold by, I think it has been taken by Byju's, something like that. Whether it is a real time, I don't know. But still, Byju's got this type of online companies. So the very big people, they merge it, or they try to give, they give company to the very big, huge companies. I think so. If I have a problem, I sort it as a website or a page or a product or app. Now it runs at level, and bigger people, the market, big companies, they try to understand, if I acquire this, I can go for 10 years of very good business. Immediately they'll try to get that startup, okay, for 2000 times more than your investment. So the people who do the startup, immediately they will sell it. Immediately they'll go for one more startup. See, this is how they are selling. This is also one type of business. Now, your student studying in second year, if he does a product and in a second year and he completes in the third year, if fourth year is able to sell the product of a particular region or a market or a particular people, and he find that it is a good income, then that can be sold out to a very big company who is that in the field. Okay, how junior ad has been taken by some other people, your Byju's or something like that. Similar way, if a product, a lead competitor will be there, you can also give it to them. You will take it for 200% more than what you have invested for the entire developing the startup. And the worthability of this product is very important. Market analysis is very important. If you have that, you will jump into the second time, that is called second and third stage. That is what your stage. And finally it goes for IPO, and you know that what is my IPO, public sharing company, and then it goes for the public market. And now One more thing, other funding sources are there, friends and family funding. Okay, it's very important thing, because funding is very important. Friends and family grants from the government, bank loans, public equity, initial public offering, and crowdfunding. Of course, crowdfunding is a very big kickstart. Okay, very big kickstart, and asking the public for the donation, and even I think very in Chennai, one beautiful college. I have seen this crowdfunding. Many people are not aware about it. One college done this crowdfunding to build a medical college. I never want to say this. Crowdfunding is that it's a different way, because you may not know about it. Okay, and the crowdfunding is that it's a very different thing, and you can see a lot of, because about public equity, but bank loan, grants, friends and family, because all four may fail, but crowdfunding will not fail. Crowdfunding is a different strategy, and that comes in a form of a public donation. It comes amount some sharing and something like that, and that is very important. Okay, see now, very important thing, incubator, because once again I want to startup incubators. Okay, incubator, you know very well about incubators, is that your incubator program designed to support successful development of startup by providing business resources, a marketing plan, and all those things are there, financial advisors, and then management teams, access to the loans, bank, incubator is required. Now, you are in our India, incubator can be done in a very different ways, that you give you need remote resources, you need infrastructure, you need your setup. I cannot do like that. If I want to do all those things, I need a very big investment. So what I do, I go to incubation cell. If you go to PSG, you can see a lot of incubation cell. For example, I'm running a writing lab, for example. Now I need an office, I need a setup, I need a location, I need human resources. Where I'll go to the college. Okay, I'll set up an incubation where the college will provide me the space, and then there will be some minimum financial constraint. For example, I may allowed to pay only the current bill of that usage, because space is empty everywhere. Buildings are available anywhere, many places, many colleges. They can give a rent-free location for me, and then uh, I can pay minimum amount only the current bill. Whereas I can take some students from that particular college, I can make them to employ in that incubation cell, and develop the product, I sell it, and then I give the money. Now, what is my investment? My idea is my own. The employability people are there from the college, because if you take any people from the third person, if you take from other resources, for example, interview process, test, and all those things are there. So human resources are there in the campus. The best students, you can pick it out and you can combine, and you can make to put into the project. He'll also be trained, and he'll also get an idea. He'll also have some payment for the working he has done, and then you can able to get it very good, what I can say, business without more investment, less processing. And that is how your incubation has to be done for the startup. That is what the reason colleges are much focused to go ahead with the startup, because human resources is there, place is there, lab is there. Only thing, brain, you have to bring it out. Okay, who is the brain for that? And sometimes some colleges, they give seed funding. Okay, they give 25 lakhs because your product is worth, okay, come on, I think this product can make a good worth of money. So what happened, a PhD, they give a lot of companies are there, and you can get, they'll give the place as well as money, and you start a company, you sell the product. Now what happens, he will take some students to be in the same campus as an employee, and he'll be working in the part time, or he'll be working on Saturdays, Sundays, and main regular employee will be there. And then that people will combine, develop a product, then they will sell it, then the income will be shared by the college as well as the person who have given a startup idea. And this is how the model goes. I think what is the pros and cons? Motivation is required. Okay, a smaller team is required. You can get your own decisions, ownership is there, and compensation is there. Okay, uh, and you can become a very big rich person, and that is there. But when you go for cons, with the drawbacks, say low pay, sometime you'll get low pay, sometime you may feel that company may fall. Okay, you want to work for long hours. That is very important. That is very important. Startup has to be worked out for long hours. You have to not say that I'm Sunday, Saturday leave, that type of thing. You cannot talk when you go ahead with the startup. Until it reaches a target, you need long hours to be invested, because here you don't invest money, you invest your hours. Hours is your investment. So that should be done in an efficient way. I think startup failure is why, because of this reason, cannot raise funding, wasting too money at the early stage. Company doesn't begin with the best people. Company doesn't begin with the best people is a very important thing, because in college, the team, when you put a 4 in a batch, by the time end of the semester, they'll have a very big fight. And that is the reason no more startups in the colleges has been successful. And then doesn't produce something people want. Okay, what people want, they didn't match it. And they hire too many people, hire the wrong people, people with wrong skills, and doesn't produce a working product in a timely manner, and not able to monetize the idea, and beaten out by the competitor. That is also very important thing. This is a failure. Of course, these failures can be eradicated if your idea is very good. And if your idea is monopoly, nobody is going to have a competitor. Nobody is going to fail. And that is how very important. Now, I want to talk about a very last important thing is that medical startup. When you talk about medical startup, okay, you can go to the website. You can see a lot of startups are coming out from this based upon that area. Once again, please, I'll just show you. It is a medical startup, and this is a medical startup. Unfortunately, India is in the 4th place in the startup top countries. But we say that we are not doing engineering, our people are not doing engineering, but our people are working out in a different way. See, the top 10 countries in startup, especially in medical startups, this is a very beautiful website where you can see that area-wise startups. Okay, see, you can see that in India, we are ranking in the 4th. If you want to see a startup in aging, okay, in targeted area, aging, okay, these are the startups. I think now this website will give a very beautiful idea. Okay, how many people have done the startup, what is their problem, how they start this, what is the company, and all those things. And that is very important. Okay, you can see this India, this particular person has done a very beautiful thing for aging application. See, it is in India. See, the successful company, it's not that failure companies. I think so this will be very useful for you. And one more company where I was starting in the earlier point of my presentation is called Soft Teams, and this is also a startup company, and now it has become a very big company. Okay, when I was there for 10 years before, it was a very small company. You can see this services. You can see that there is a medical OEM. It is a image processing company. You can see the solutions. You can see here a new thing is called mobile tablet viewer and mobile tablet based product development, and all those things have been developed. Of course, I think I never want to much say about this thing, because if you are interested, you can go to these sites. You can see how these fellow people are using their image processing for making a product, and that can be used for what I can say, going ahead with the startups. Okay, you'll get an idea. That is what the reason I have given it. And if at all really you want to have an idea about the startup, you can go for the medical startup. You can see in I how many startups are there in I. Okay, this is the I-based startup, and this is a high-based startup. That is a very important thing. I think it's time up. It's time up. I think I can close here, and most are the coordinators who are there in the line.
Yes,
I
sir.
think you can. I think I can stop the sharing.
Yes, participants. Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself and ask. You can post your questions in the chat box also. We will take it to the speaker.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yes, tell me, sir.
Sir, in an incubation cell, is it possible to have multiple startups, or any constraint on the number of startups in an incubation cell, sir?
Incubation cell is that it should be classified. It should be under the control of. See, you can have n number of incubation cell based upon your area. Incubation is that you incubation. The meaning for incubation is that who are unmatured are kept under the wings of the seniors. You take a chicken. what happens? It is very small. It is been trained by the mother hen, and that is how the incubation starts. It means that the mother hen is the people from the company. Okay, your chickens
Okay.
are your students. I
Okay,
think
sir. Okay, sir.
you can have n number of hens to
Okay,
make
sir.
the
Okay.
children warm and make them to grow in an efficient way. I think you understand what you mean incubation. So you
Yes,
can
sir. Yes,
bring
sir. Yes.
n number of companies, and each company you can put some few students and train them in your own place.
Okay,
While
sir. Okay,
while
sir.
while studying itself, they'll understand the industry because they are made for industry, and
Okay, sir.
they are not been they are not been allowed to view that real time industry because they'll be having less time. So companies are into their place. Sorry.
Okay.
Any other doubt? It's clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's clear for me, sir.
Okay. Any other doubt?
Any other questions, please?
What is?
You can put in the chat also if you have any queries. I'll make this floor to open for 2 minutes. It is 11:49 according to my laptop time. I'll open for 5:52. 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Participants, please post your questions in the chat box, or you can even unmute yourself and ask the questions.
So there's a small doubt from my side, sir, like question.
Yes, sir. May I know who is speaking?
Sir, this is Mitresh, sir.
Mitresh. Tell me, Mitresh.
Yes, sir, in today's generation, most of the students have a great startup idea in their mind, sir, but they are not getting the proper support from the family background as of the parents' opinion. What do you think about that, sir?
See, it is not a very big issue. You make that idea, okay? I think a student can spend 1,500 rupees. It's not a very big amount, and you put your idea in IP. It means that you write a startup idea. What is your idea? The solution. You make it as an abstract. You file it in Indian intellectual property right. Patent. File it. You take that abstract. Now you go and meet all the investors. And now there is one more question: how to find out the investor? There are some research companies. Okay, you find out from research companies who are matching the investor, and then you are matching the students. For example, CL Educate. There is one company called CL Educate where they are doing this. Okay, like this, lot of companies are there, and you have to contact those people. And even sitting in your home, you can just post that abstract, and you can tell them, "This is my idea. Can you get an investor?" And those people will work as a mediator, and they'll find out according to your area who is matching, like that, how matrimonial system are there. Your male and female put their abstracts, their all horoscopy and all those things, then they get their software get matched. Similar way, there are some research companies in Chennai itself, in India itself. For example, CL Educate is a very good company. They are matching the investor and the student idea. You have to approach that people so that I think your problem will be solved. And without doing your IP and getting those ideas to giving your ideas or explaining the ideas to them, it will become a problem. Better you try to do your idea by registering in Indian Patent Act, 1,500 rupees, only your abstract filing. And then you can go and give your idea to those investors, research companies. There are a lot of research companies in the worldwide. And worldwide, there are a lot of research companies. And there are some sites also you can put your abstracts. For example, I think medical sciences and Eureka Alert. And you can post your idea there also. Okay. And you can say that it is a registered one. Then these sites are seen by the company people. By that way, you can get your investors. Say any startup has to face these challenges. Without challenges, you cannot do any startup. You should have that mentality, and you should keep in a very very clear mind is that working in others place is different. Working for myself is different. If it is my own company, it is different. If you're working in another place, every time your I don't know, your potentiality, your entire skill will be valid, or your entire skill will be recognized. These things are a very big question mark. But here, you work for you. Whatever you work, how many hours you work, you get back for your work. That is what, you know. I think you can understand what I'm trying to say. Say, even myself, you know, when I completed my PhD, I was being offered more than 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs. By the time I was being said very clearly that, you know, you are a stupid. I want to be very clear in this forum. I was being said that I am a stupid because you doesn't know how to take 1.5 lakh rupees without going to college. Why you want to strain yourself? But now the situation is turned out. Okay, but still my growth is enormous. It is enormous, you know. No, you know, now I am taking classes for other countries. See, for example, I take for Oman, I take for Bahrain, I take for Indonesia, I take for some other countries. But still, what I feel that I cannot reach them out because I was delayed in my processing. See, I started after completing my 36. That is after completing my PhD. If it have started in the B itself, maybe it would have done me a very big learning company. The timing is also very important. Student has to start the startup to take their startup in the during the college hours, not that, you know, getting married and you think all commitment will do and then I'll start. No, it is not, it will not work out, because the level of taking risk only can be done when you are individual. Okay, when you become a family man, you know, you can only imagine, if I would have done like this, you know, I would have attained this position, and that will become as an imagination for you. So student has to be given a very clear idea that startup should be done in the young age where you can face lot of risk. I can live by taking one day one bread, but when I become a family, I think I cannot do that. I cannot spend all my 24 hours to the company. So startup has to be done in the young age. And when you put your efforts and time at the young age, after certain days, that is what I said. No, your income may be low. My income is very low. No, don't. When I compare still now, it will be very low. I know that it is very low, but it will not be the case after 5 years. After 5 years, entirely thing will be different. I can see that changes. I can see the customer. I can see the market. I can see the things. But so far, what I did, I learned how to make it. You know, 36 months. It means that to make a conceptation and make a branding, and that needs a time. Minimum a startup needs minimum 5 to 10 years, based upon your what I can say, idea and plans. If your idea and plans are very good, it will be very good to reach the market. Of course, you know, that is a different stage. But still, after, I think I have invested more than 5 to 7 years into this field, and now I can able to see a very good market. But monetizing is different. But still, I face difficulty in monetization. But still, what happens, because why the monetization is difficult, because I cannot able to take a risk of higher level. When I'm young, I should have done it. When my commitments are less, I should have made it. Because now I cannot take a loan of 1 crore. I cannot do that because I want to see everything. But when I'm young, I can put any number of crores. Okay, nobody is going to be affected because of that. No, now that is a problem with the people. And that is the problem with the software also. At the 40-45 age, they'll be sent out. Everybody knows that. At the 40, the retirement age of any software company is 50. They know that by 40, they'll try to kick them out. But still, what happened there? No, in the initial stage, they have spent their money in a different way, and they lose their brain, confidence, and everything. They cannot do any startup. They know the programming, they know the company, but they cannot do that because startup needs time to take risk. Startup needs time to face the challenges. That is very important. I think you got it, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Sir, there's a question in the chat box. Is it mandatory for a faculty or student to set up a startup to approach institutions or organizations, or is it self-sustainable without seed fund?
Yes, it is self-sustainable based upon your situation. For example, I want to set up an office. I need 1 lakh rupees. Okay. I need an infrastructure table, and then I need something, you know, that becomes a monthly burden to me. Okay. And if I get a very small space in any institution where I can get the professor's knowledge, I can get the human resources from the students. Students will be inducted. Sometimes the students cannot be paid also. You can say it is an internship, unpaid internship. Legally it is accepted. And if that is the case, you get the human resources. So you are cutting your investments, not initial expenditure, but you have to spend money for marketing. For example, if you go and meet some person to say that this is my product, that will be the minimum expenditure for you. I think so. So that will be what I can say, makes you to understand based upon your product, based upon your situation. Sometimes you can startup can be in your home also, because you can keep a small room at the top. You do it still. If you are able to get human resources payment, you are going to employ 2-3 people. If you are able to do that payment, you can do it in your home. Okay. If you cannot be able to do that, you can approach the institution. Okay. And of course, if you have PhD degree, that itself very beautiful thing. You can go and do a startup. I can see a lot of medical instrument in PhD. If you go to IIT Research Park, I don't know how many people have went to that IITM Research Park incubation cell. You can see lot of companies are coming out. They are providing a beautiful environment, and they become what I can say, shareholders. Institution becomes the shareholders, because your idea only is there. See, it depends upon your financial situation, idea, and all those things. For example, I have an idea. Now, I don't have money. I can approach the institution. Come on, give the place. Your students are there. I'll give them internship. And if the profit comes like this, you can make a share. Now, your idea only is yours. Okay. Everything is free of cost. And you're going to give a very minimum investment. It depends upon the situation. Sometimes you should also be very aware that once the organization understands that this startup can be done by yourself, by learning from you, they can even kick you out. So decisions has to be taken based upon your idea. I think you got it.
Thank you, sir. So one more last question, sir. Sir, is it mandatory we should patent our idea before starting a startup?
It's good for your safe. For your safe, it's good because you are going to give a solution for a problem. So it is mandatory. That is what the reason even a layman can go and do that filing. Even I'm uneducated also, I'm allowed to do patent filing. Even I'm uneducated, I'm also can do the filing. No need of lawyer also. Write an abstract, give it to them, pay 1,450 rupees, it becomes your product, and then you can do a startup. It is mandatory. It's not mandatory, but still, if you keep it, you are safe. Say, it is just like that. Whether money kept in my home is safe or money kept in my locker is safe. Even in locker also, they don't provide. If somebody steals the money in the bank locker, bank will not return you anything. He will say very clearly, the locker is a facility, not that security. Facility, that's all. So now it depends upon you. Whether I want to keep the money in my home or whether I want to keep it in the locker. It depends upon the situation. Okay, but both are not safe. But still, what I'm trying to say is that according to your situation, now I'm going out of my what I can say, home. By the time more cash should not be there. No, I can take and put it in my bank locker. Then I return, come back, I can take it out. See, it depends upon the situation. Okay. I think you can understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Still, any doubt?
I think there are no more questions, sir. So hope we'll wind up.
Can anybody give the feedback of this session?
Sir, it was an excellent session, sir.
Thank you.
So we came to know about startups. So we came to know a lot about practical information, how to go in for a startup, how to approach an organization. So your lecture was very good. So it was an eye-opening for all the faculty members and the researchers working in the field of education, sir. So thank you very much for the excellent lecture, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anybody is there other than professor? Any other people are ready to give the feedback?
Participants, some of you can give the feedback.
Anyway, I think next class has to be started. Thank you very much. I close here because I taken much time.
1 second, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So once again, sir, please stay online, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll be there on the line.
Okay, sir. I take this moment to thank Dr. Rena Shankar on behalf of Panimala Institute of Technology and AICT. I'm sure it was imbibed by every one of them present here. Thank you, sir. We are honored by your presence.
Thank you, madam.
As a token of love and appreciation, we would like to give an e-memento to our speaker, Shankar, sir. Mitresh,
Yes, madam.
can you please share it?
Yeah, I'll share it. I think you are sharing the screen, I think so. Professor,
Yes,
you are
sir.
sharing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No need myself to share.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, it's an virtual momento only, sir.
I think very good feedback from the people. BMI Engineering College, outstanding presentation. Sabita, very informative.
Yes,
thank you very much. Jay Shri, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. BMI College. I don't know where professor is from. BMI College. I think you can speak. SKR. Fill the form. Thank you very much. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Avinash Lingam Institute, BMI Engineering College. Avinash Lingam Institute, sir. Why can't you speak with me? Because you are from Engineering Institute. We are not unmuting yourself. You are not giving any comments. Malati, assistant professor. Malati. Thank you. Thank you, madam. I'll close it because it will delay for your next session. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Participants, please fill the feedback form. It has been posted in the chat box. I request all to fill the feedback form without fail. And once you have filled,